Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming in the studio, he is a first-timer, a part of hip-hop royalty right here in H-Town. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Jackson is in the building. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about yourself. The city of Houston may not be all the way familiar, so give us your background, my G.
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. My name is Robert D. Jackson, also known as Baba Rob. I'm an actor, recording artist, education advocate, and I'm now returned back to Houston to do what God has called me to do, which is use my talents and strengths to impact the community. So that's what I'm doing. Spent 7 years in New York City, getting trained up, went to NYU and studied acting at the Tisch School of the Arts, and then got my master's in educational leadership, politics, and advocacy, and just wrapped that degree recently. And now I have grant city funding to elevate the conversations around equity, justice, Black lives, and hip hop. So I'm hoping to just combine all those in a really unique, innovative way and make it happen.
Well, from what I understand, you kind of already have with your hip hop musical. What's the name of it?
So it's called Baba and Me: A Young Man in Search of His Father.
And what is the synopsis around this musical?
Yeah, so Baba and Me began. It was birthed on my 24th birthday. And the significance behind that is due to the fact that my father didn't make it to the age of 24, like many men that come from the south side of Houston. And I thought it was important for me to mourn his death since I was 5 when it happened in 1999. I thought it was important that I mourn his death with my creative talents and invite my New York audience and friend group to come support me on my 24th birthday and do the beginning of what is now a full theatrical production of Baba and Me: A Young Man in Search of His Father.
When can we expect the opening of Baba and Me?
Yes. So we have started rehearsal this week, which is super exciting, and we will be premiering at Match, the Midtown Arts and Theater Center of Houston.
Nice.
And Matchbox 2 specifically.
Okay.
We did a libation ceremony back in January in the largest space, and we realized that was a little bit too big. So we want to have more of an intimate crowd in Matchbox 2, but that'll be November 14th through 16th. We'll be doing 4 productions. We'll be doing 3 night events, and then we'll do a matinee on that Saturday, the 16th. And that will be co-produced by Torch and Renmin Entertainment.
Nice. I'm loving this, and I love that you also want to bring awareness to gun violence.
Absolutely.
You know.
So in conjunction with the theatrical production, I'm grateful that I have the City of Houston's support to have in-depth conversations and community engagement around the subjects and themes of the show. So I am using things such as gun violence, police brutality, black-on-black crime, and really having an in-depth conversation on the 9th, the week before the show opens, at the library, specifically the Robinson West Chase Library on the southwest side of town, to engage in dialogue. And so that'll be from 12 to 4, November 9th, at the Robinson West Chase Regional Library on the southwest side.
That's November 9th. I gotta write this down. I wanna come to all of the events that go down. Gun violence and gun control, hot button issue here in the country right now. What are your thoughts on just sensible gun control, or what are your thoughts on at least getting the AR-15s and the AK-47s, just the ban on the assault rifles?
Well, I'll just be very transparent. My father was executed with an AK-47 automatic machine gun, and so it hits home. And so I don't think that the average day civilian should have access to that ammunition. And I think that it is imperative that we uphold the constitutional right to bear arms.
Absolutely.
But also understand that lives are being lost with machines that are meant to kill.
My thing is, Robert, that, like, weapons of war do not need to be on the street.
Right.
I mean, to your point, yes, we have the right to bear arms, but you don't need an AR or an AK to go hunting for a deer.
Right.
Like, to me, you have some mental issues if you are going hunting with a gun that is designed for war.
Right.
I mean, an AR-15, like the way that it's designed, once it penetrates you, like it explodes inside. Like, it's just, why are you going hunting with that? You're not hunting the deer. Like, you're just obliterating the deer. But a lot of people, they feel as if no ban should be on these assault rifles, and I just don't. I don't get it.
Well, I think most people's arguments that I've seen specifically in Texas have been the constitutional right. And I think with the constitutional right being to bear arms, it's all arms is what it's assumed. And I think that if there's more local and regional policies to ensure that there's certain type of arms available to the people, then that can, I hope, decrease the gun violence, at least for my neighborhood.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Robert Jackson. His play, Bye Bye and Me, a hip-hop musical, will be at the Match Theaters November 14th through the 16th. He also has a gun violence awareness kind of round table discussion, if you will.
Circle,
on November the 9th. But back to the gun conversation. The reason why I said that is because around the time that I first got here to Houston, and I believe it was in 2014, when that school shooting happened at Sandy Hook, and all of those 5-6-year-old babies were shot and killed, and Congress did nothing to ban assault weapons. I said nothing is ever going to be done. If nothing was done when these babies were killed, they're not going to do anything from here on out. I don't care because this should have been the tipping point. Like our children can't even go to preschool and elementary school without some nut coming up and shooting up the place.
Right.
And nothing was done. I said, oh, well, I guess it's here to stay. And then, when the assault ban was active in the 90s before it kind of got, put back into place in the 2000s, crime and the death rate was down. And now we see how many mass shootings have happened in this country this year, like close to 300. Like it's just it just doesn't make sense. And my thing is make it make sense.
Right.
And Congress is doing nothing. I mean, there's a bill that's sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk right now that could stop this whole thing. But no, he's going to stay with the NRA because they are lining his pockets. And not only that, and then it came out last week or maybe 2 weeks ago that Russia has been using the NRA to, promote their strategy to continue to tear us apart as Americans. And so it's just it's so deep. It is so deep. I don't even know what. But I love the work that you're doing to bring more awareness to this. And you are also a part of something big, the Houston Art Alliance. So tell us about HAA.
Absolutely. So the Houston Arts Alliance and the City of Houston, they have increased the amount of funds supporting local artists and really becoming champions to providing artists the opportunity to fulfill their artistic visions and dreams. And so I have been a recipient of an annual grant that my project is funded by in part. And so how it works, just so that I break it down, is that
get out of my head. I was just about
so
to.
altruism. So because this is the stuff that passions me. So the arts and culture sector of Houston, right, which if we were to talk about the arts and culture sector, there's a lot of reports. SMU has a recent data report where they broke down the patrons that visit, the frequency, and the amounts of people that attend performances across all the nonprofits in the city of Houston, et cetera. And what became alarming for me, with the goal to allow my audience to be primarily African American and Latino, is that only 4% of paid ticketed programming in the arts and culture Houston environment are African American. Right? So 4% of all audiences that are watching theater in the city of Houston look like me. We have a problem, right? And if my whole purpose of bringing this project specifically to Houston is to increase first-time theater goers, to redefine the theater experience for my community, it can start with something that people can relate to, right? I can use my power of testimony to say, look, this is me. This is how I'm connecting to my Father in this way. And I can also give people the opportunity to experience theater in a way they never have seen in Houston, right? And so going back to HAA and how it breaks down is that, so just this year alone, they've given $7 million to about 387, roughly, organizations, right? And all the visitors of Houston, all the tourists and things that are part of the tourism economy, they use a large amount of those funds known as hot funds, the hotel occupancy tax. So when you go to a hotel, they add an additional little bit smaller little tax, and that tax is used to bring positive art and culture to the city of Houston. And most cities across the nation and the globe do this. And so what's great about that is now there's no excuse for innovative, creative, new emerging arts in the city of Houston. And HAA is really the champion of that initiative. So they're the person that distributes those funds to supporting artists and creative individuals. They also work hand in hand with the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs to ensure that they're holding those that they've given grants to accountable. So they offer workshops and info sessions and a lot of resources online for the Houston community. But I think the biggest challenge, and this is why I'm mentioning it, is that not enough people that look like me know about it, right? Accessibility, as we know, is why people don't know about things. And so I think that the more I lead with my story and how I went about doing things can bring awareness to how others similar to me that want to do one-man shows in the city of Houston, that want to do recorded music, that are visual artists, that are entrepreneurs in the creative industries of Houston, to know that there's people who are advocating on your behalf and are giving you money. And so with this specific grant, the annual grant funds up to $15,000 for artists. And so I'm fortunate in that I was a recipient of that, as well as several other recently distributed grants for the city of Houston and the Houston Arts Alliance. But it definitely made the difference on my collaborative team. So with the support of the Houston Arts Alliance and the city of Houston, I now can pay my collaborators, right? In the theater community, it's like, say, can you help me out? Look, I'm working with a little baby budget. I can't, I know you rock with me, you know, and I think now it's like, look, I can give you at least an honorarium, even if you're the assistant costume designer for my production, right? Nice. So I'm investing in the local economy, one, using city funds that came from outside of the city, right? And long term, I look to house that on a larger scale, but slow and steady wins the race. And, you know, we're going to start with this pilot / test social experiment just to see how... Study. Case study, you know, just so that we can see how to really get Black and brown people to showcase their art with city-funded opportunities to change the narrative and the perception of arts and media of Houston.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. We need more people like you to make that necessary change where one didn't think it would be possible. So big ups to you for just having the balls to step up and do that. And you're right about, you know, Black and brown people not being exposed to the arts, especially the theater arts.
Right.
I had a coworker. I have a coworker, Amir Diamond, who loves the theater, but for a moment there, he was ashamed to talk about it because he didn't think that other people would think it was cool, and he just thought that he was alone. And then when he expressed that, he gets listeners calling him up like, "Oh my God, like I love musicals too. Like I've seen Cats, and I want to see The Color Purple, and I've been here, and Hamilton, this and that and the third." And so, yeah, because I was I was in the show choir in high school, but I was glad that I was exposed to the theater, because at one point I thought that is what I wanted to do, and so exposure is everything. So I'm so glad that you are one of the champions on the line for change in the community, bro.
Absolutely,
and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I just thought I'd add that a big investment was given to me to get a fully funded education up in New York. And in high school, I was a recipient of the Gates Millennium Scholarship, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which fully funded all of my education.
Wow.
Right, with the investment being that we believe in creating tomorrow's leaders, right? Or I think the mantra is creating tomorrow's future, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think about my contribution, right, as an artist, as an arts entrepreneur, I understand my lane in my field, right? Whereas all my friends that were also recipient of similar scholarships as me are, learning and navigating the finance fields and the more sustainable field, different medical law, different areas. I can really be a leader in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was invested in. So it's really remembering where I came from, knowing that I didn't forget, I'm back, I'm here to do something big and black. So pull up on, and so really playing my part, as an actor, that's what I learned growing up. All the world's a stage and we are merely players. So I'm gonna be that player on an international level, but everybody gonna know that I am bleeding, right, with the city of Houston and doing my best to make Houston proud.
And your work is not going to go unnoticed, bro. And I can already tell, just sitting here talking to you, that you are quite the actor. I can see it. I can see it already. Robert Jackson of Torch Renman Entertainment, is that it?
Yes, Torch is the nonprofit, and then Renman Entertainment is a production company and recording label that my alter ego, who you'll meet probably later, I'm sure you will,
with
other city-funded grant opportunities from the Houston Arts Alliance, Baba Rurab, that's housed through that work.
Okay, so. That's what's up, man. You got a lot going. I'm excited. Mark the date for November the 9th for the gun violence awareness discussion that he'll be having. That's going to be at...
It'll be at the Robinson West Chase Public Library. So It's on the southwest side of town. The times will be from 12 to 4. If you are interested in contributing to this, please let me know. Shoot me an email at robert@robertdjackson.com. And please, we're looking for in-kind donations. We're looking for contribution, community leaders, specifically our Black men that are in the leadership space, to just come out and represent.
No doubt. And then Baba and Me, the hip-hop musical, happening at the Match Theater, the Match 2 Theater, on November 14th through the 16th. So come out and support this legend in the making that is making some incredible changes here in the community, right here in Houston, Texas. Man, it's an honor. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you so much, KG Smooth, for having me. It's an honor to be in your space.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming back from the Children's Museum of Houston. She's a representative, always so bright and bubbly. I love her smile. Welcoming back Leti Luna. How are you?
Hello.
It is that time. Halloween is this week.
I know. Spookiness is back at the Children's Museum of Houston.
Yes, and I love the theme that you all have this year. Grosstopia.
Yes. So we were talking with the team, and this theme of grossness came up, and so yeah, we've transformed into a Grosstopia at the museum.
That sounds exciting. First of all, who came up with that name? It's such a creative name.
Well, we were thinking about what kind of location we wanted to be. So we've done kind of like this haunted house theme, a monster's house, but we really wanted it to be a place. So our education team was really looking at what has been successful or what kind of quirky ideas we've had in the past. And a dose of gross was something that we loved.
Of gross.
Yes. And actually our visitors really resonated with it. So we were like, well, why not have an entire town dedicated to grossness? So Grosstopia came about.
That is amazing. I really like that. You guys put some thought into that.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So what gross things are scary things that the children will be experiencing this Halloween season with Grosstopia?
So we've had different events leading up to Halloween. So if some of the people listening have been watching us on social media or visiting the museum, we did have like a creepy crawler event and slime. But slime is actually going to be happening through Halloween. So that's one of the things. And of course, the Children's Museum is always about fun and learning.
Right.
So nothing too scary. So parents, don't stay away. It's not going to scare any of your little ones.
Yeah, they're still kids.
Yes, exactly. But we're just getting more into the chemistry of gross and really trying to explore that with our visitors.
Does that include the children learning how to make slime?
Yes. So kids can actually come to the museum and learn how to make guar gum slime. And it'll be happening all week until Halloween night. So there are different workshops. I believe it's at our science station. So yes, you can definitely make and play and learn the science behind slime.
Letty, have you made slime yet?
I've made slime before, but from what I've seen, our educators have different types of slime that they work with. But guar gum slime, and I'm wondering if I'm even saying it correctly, but they really, that's the one that I guess is more popular with our visitors.
That's fascinating that there's different types of slime. I guess it has to do with the consistency, I'm imagining.
Yes, the consistency, the ingredients you use. So there are some, and I know that it was a big Instagram phenomenon of like, I think it was like last year when it really blew up, but there's like a foam slime, and then there's that more liquid type of slime.
And then the more gummy type of...
Yes.
Yeah. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Leti Luna from the Children's Museum of Houston. Grosstopia is going on now through Halloween night, a Thursday night, October 31st, which... we will be out there, 97.9 The Box, Magic 102.1, Radio Now 92.1. The whole Radio 1 family will be there for Happy House.
Yes.
You know, we get so many, there's a lot of new people that move to Houston, and this is probably their first time hearing about this. So talk about Happy House, what it is. It's an amazing time, but I'll let Letty go in and tell us what it's about.
So the Children's Museum has been very fortunate to work with Radio 1 for a number of years now for this Halloween Happy House. And it's always held on one of our free family nights leading up to Halloween. But this year, it so happens that Halloween is on a Thursday.
Right.
So visitors who are new Houstonians who are maybe not visited the museum before, this is the perfect opportunity to see us at our peak. So Halloween, we love to own. And the museum is completely transformed now, but with Radio 1 there, the energy is just completely different.
Yeah.
So it starts at 5. It's free admission.
Free. No,
yes.
$3.99.
Exactly. So families are definitely encouraged to come celebrate with us. We have a lot of indoor space. There's trick-or-treating. It's just so much fun.
It is a lot of fun, but make sure that you get there at 5, because I tell you, that line literally wraps around the museum.
Yes.
It's a crazy time.
I know, but it's exciting.
It is
even
exciting.
if it's crazy, we're still so excited.
Like crazy fun, like because the kids they show up in their costumes,
Oh, yes.
and just to see the excitement and the different costumes and how we are out there mingling and playing with the kids, playing
Yes.
music. It's just it's festive. It's like a little fun festival.
It is. It is like a fun festival. And we are having some performances too. So actually, Dance Houston is going to be coming out, and they're going to be teaching kids how to do the Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh,
and they're going to
nice.
do a performance as well. You get to do zombie raps that night too. So act like a zombie. I mean, we're always looking though for those costumes, like to see what families come up with, because every year we see either
Something new and
different, either a family of Altuves or a family of pumpkins, whatever it is. It's always fun.
That sounds cute. I would have loved to see the
Yes, a
the
family of
Altuves.
Altuves. That one I saw last year. I was like, well, we didn't make it to the World Series, but hey, that was last year. So
Yeah, and we're underway. The World Series is going on now, so we're really excited about that, and we're excited about Thursday for Happy House. But also, just during this week, during Grosstopia, you all have daily trick or treating as well.
yes, so kids can come out and trick or treat every single day. So this during the weekdays, it is from 4 to 6 p.m.
4 to 6.
And
okay.
so Sunday, it's all day. So the weekend, it's all day. And Halloween is also all day. So from the moment we open at 10 a.m. on Halloween, it's trick-or-treating
Trick-or-treating
until
all
8
day.
p.m. Yes.
Yeah. And then we will be out there for Happy House from 5 until 8 at the Children's Museum of Houston for Happy House to celebrate Halloween Grosstopia at the Children's Museum. Always a lot of fun, Letty. It just dawned on me. I'm going to miss this year.
Oh, no, we're going to miss you then.
Yeah, I fly out to Orlando on Thursday morning.
Oh, it'll
And
be
so,
fun.
yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
I'll be on vacation. I have to use these days up or I'm going to lose them.
Oh, yes.
And so
Have to take advantage of those vacation days.
yeah. So, but thank you all for my bag of treats.
Yes.
You all sent me with the candy and the glow ball, which I have been playing with. So, a grown man playing with this, but it's fun. So, thank you all for that.
Yes, you're welcome. And I mean, I hope that your dentist doesn't get too upset with us with all that candy that was in the bag.
She'll be fine. I do everything in moderation.
Yes.
Everything in moderation. Happy House is happening Halloween night from 5 until 8 at the Children's Museum of Houston. Of course, daily trick-or-treating for Halloween Grosstopia that is going on right now will be all day that day for Halloween, and from 4 until 6 throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 until 6. But Thursday, Halloween night, it'll be all day. Happy House will be happening. You can experience all of the great things at the Children's Museum. And this is a safe way to trick or treat.
Yes, you don't have to be worrying about, cars going through the neighborhood or, not seeing anyone that's crossing the street. You just come to the museum and we have trick-or-treating stations plus activities. And then, of course, Radio 1 will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun, performances, music, you name it.
Nice. So, Houston, we'll see you at the Children's Museum on Thursday. Letty, thank you. Good seeing you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Leti Luna from the Children's Museum of Houston. I really appreciate you. And thank you for listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston.